So, right. This is the clip I want people to just watch. It's a very short extract of the hour and 20 odd minutes. So just watch this and listen. This is Brian Gerrish thinking as a typical cynical kind of British guy saying, oh, our courts are corrupt, the judges are corrupt, everything's wrong. But remember, if you're in someone else's court, the judge or the judiciary can only act by the prescribed rules of these courts, which I'll bring back to here. These courts which are assigned certain rules, that's why they have their own names, because they have their own rules. Whereas things like the magistrates court and the county court, they act differently. They're not owned by the legal society or the government. They are essentially the people. This is definitely the people's court, county court. Now be careful, because sometimes they stick family court, like the county court and family court. Now that's fine. That means the family court has taken up residence in our public courthouse. But let's just ignore that element of the court, and let's go back and just listen to this very quickly. And so Brian Gerrish is just saying how terrible our court systems are, corrupt judges, blah blah blah.
What we're not offering in this interview is a magic wand, because people have got to know their stuff. But the question is, how do you deal when a judge is actually the judge themselves is corrupt? Well, sorry, that Michael pick up your pen.
That's
right.
The big thing is let me tell a lady from Canada story. She was thrown out of court the first. She had 4 children, and they had gun and drug charges on them. So obviously, that's pretty powerful stuff to be charged with, have children in the house and have that kind of stuff. Mm. And so what happened was she tried to put in all this free man stuff, and they got thrown out of the courtroom. About 4 or 5 months later, I just happened to start up my radio show, and I said, the first mom and dad who calls up needs their kids back, I'll get them back for them. So he just happened to ring. So he started going on and on about free man stuff. I said, wow. Do you have a wife, a woman here in the house? And I said, yes. I said, do you understand any of the stuff you're saying? She's not really. I said, this is all your fault. Yes, because you listen to this guy with this crazy stuff. She's like, yes, good, I could work with you. So I said, by the time we get on the next show, I said, we'll have the results for her. So this was a massive gamble for me. So it worked out great, as I really worked hard with this lady, and I made a very simple four-sentence thing. I require the restoration of property. So as soon as she turned that one little piece of paper into the clerk of the court, who then turned it to the court clerk, which is different, court clerk ran and got the head judge. The head judge all of a sudden invited these people into his chambers. Said, why did you use this word property? Lincoln freed the slaves, when it had to do with Canadians, I don't know. Shouldn't we call them children? That's right. That way they have jurisdiction and control over children, but they have no jurisdiction and control over property.
Right. Now, this I brought up in a little bit of chat last night with Barley, because we've had one of the family division judges saying, Colville, I think his name is, saying where children are concerned, you have no rights.
That's right. He's correct. Where your property is concerned, you have rights, because property is inherent within you. Property. Like I said, that's why I say to property all the time. That which is proper and exclusive to all others within a society. So you're saying, that child is my property. He's exclusive to me, bared by the fruits of my labor. He's exclusive for me to use and enjoy. Property, not child. Property. See, these are Sibboleth words. Right. They're listening.
So the judge, that American judge, was
Canadian.
Canadian.
Canadian. Yeah, okay. This was Queen's Bench in Canada. So,
all right, let's leave it there. So you get the idea, okay? So when you go to court, there are word games going on, okay? And especially if you're in the wrong jurisdiction of court, you're going to get screwed. So when they say, oh, you're the parents, you're the defendants, these are children, okay, you've got to be very careful. Now Brian Gerrish just quoted what a judge said. A judge has been quoted as saying, as far as children are concerned, you have no rights. Now that's about as much as a judge can say to help you people, all right? He can't give you advice, but he's just saying, as far as children are concerned, you have no rights. Let's look at the word child: fetus, infant, unborn, or newly born persons. Okay, persons, ooh, get out. So it's basically to do with the womb, pregnancy, yeah, like child birth. Okay, there's something called child birth. Once a child is born, it becomes a little one. You can say it's an infantile. I mean, there's a billion words to explain a child. But when you start using the word children, then I don't know how it's some sort of weird relation to an unborn fetus, and therefore, I don't know. We just shouldn't be using the word children anymore. Or parents. Let's go to parent, yeah? P-A-R. Par. I'm going down a golf course. I'm going to do a par. Par free hole. Excellent. Equality. Also, a value of currency in terms of another. Equal size, well matched. That which is equal. Equality. par, okay? And when you say parent, well, let me just do that properly. So parent, ent, which is a Latin see ant. It's an accusative, all right? It's just a Latin antem, all right? It's an accusative. So we are accusing you of equality. So parent is a terrible word, all right? You're being accused of having equal status, not between husband and wife or man and wife. It's between state and baby. You are all on equal. You have an equal interest in this little thing. All right. So this is why it's so dangerous when you get called into these courts, and they start playing God with what is now we've just discovered together is your property. So basically, that is where I'm going to vaguely leave it. I did a Twitter message to someone just a minute ago in relation to the kind of things that you need to do. But if I was these parents, I would seriously just write a simple notice to the people involved with the care of your little bit of bundle of joy property, and that would be somewhere in the region of notice. Oh God, I did write it down and it was amazing. I'll have to blur this. But anyway, where is it? Messages. There it is. Boom. This person. Sorry for showing you details. I'll try and blur it out. Hello. Well, in the case, it's not a restoration of property. So they're saying, are they asking for the restoration of property? I said, no, they're not restoring any property because property has not been taken from them. The baby's not been taken away. They merely need to inform in writing via a notice. Notice, Charlie is property of, I don't know their mum and dad's name, but like Dave and Jill. It is our wish to take property to America at the invitation of President Donald J. Trump to seek help for said property. We require all persons, judicial and governmental, to assist names that be mother and father with our wishes as a matter of life and death. We require, now this is straight out of your passport here, let's use their own phrases for our benefit. We require that said property be allowed to pass freely without let or hindrance and afford mum and dad names such assistance and protection as may be. Now I haven't used necessary. Necessary is a dangerous word. I won't go into that now. But as be required, so as they wish or as they require help, the government is there to help them to make their wishes come true. Okay, both sign and just literally give that out to every doctor, every nurse. Stick it on the notice boards in the hospital. Post one copy to each of the courts that you've been to up and down. So there's absolutely send one to Theresa May, send one to the Queen, send one to everyone. Then I would say call the US embassy, tell the embassy staff that who you are. I wish to accept the invitation of Donald J. Trump. Please put me through to someone at his office so we can arrange transportation. It would be lovely to have the Trump jet pick him up from Heathrow, or something obviously medically capable of doing so. Let's hope the Trump jet is. And off you go to America and we can give this kid one last wish. Now, let's hope for the best. And let's hope, beyond hope, that this gets out there and people can start enjoying a hopeful story of a kid, at least in if it is the final days of this babe. Let's get the best treatment possible and not just arbitrarily decide death. I think that's very unhumane.